I call this meeting back to order at 10:23 a.m. on Sunday, July 14th. May all members please say their name for the record.
Josh Regachik.
Matthew Bravo.
Jackson Ranson.
Daniel Weinberger.
Aaron Rubio as chair, Senator Monson as clerk.
Senator Austin Britton.
All right, with 5 members present, quorum has been established. We're now moving into the consideration of SSB 2024-1461. All right. You have 5 minutes of presentation whenever you are ready.
Awesome. So, 1461. This one really just takes into account of the fact that that office no longer exists. That is like the only change. Well, the officer no longer exists, as was reflected a few months ago. That's all. I waive.
All right, we're now in line for 5 minutes of Q&A. How much did it pain you to write this? Huh.
Could have been worse. I could have had to get rid of Simi.
True.
Even more.
All right, we're now on for 5 minutes of debate. Is there any debate? All right, we're now in line for 2 minutes final privilege.
I actually have an amendment I would like to do for 7B. It says of the I believe at the end when I caught it goes of the. So can we cross that out? One of the does. That is all. I waive.
Where is that?
It's the second part of 7B.
Last sentence.
Yes, it is a report on the activities of the.
Yep, okay. Nice catch. All right, are there any motions at this time?
Yeah, I move to amend SSB 2024-1461, section 7B, to strike the first of the last, no, second of the last sentence. Sorry. Not the lead is in the lower part. I have to use that.
By unanimous consent?
By unanimous consent.
Are there any objections? Seeing none, that motion passes. Any more motions?
I move to pass SSB 2024-1461 by unanimous consent.
Are there any objections? Seeing none, that motion passes.
Thank you. That was one I didn't want to pass. In theory, I never wanted to make this one.
I'm going to do this new thing where I keep track of the legislation that passes as it happens.
I've been trying to do it. I've been trying to make an Excel sheet.
Yeah, just so I don't have to do it after. Okay. We're now in line for SSP 2024-1462.
Say.
5 minutes presentation whenever you're ready.
Okay, so there's 2 changes. Obviously 325 is crossed out because that became the Sinclair rule. Both of those passed at the exact same time, so I just made it this 326 instead. I changed it accordingly. And I kind of just made it nicer looking. I quite literally just kind of got rid of the earlier part in a different subsection thing. That's all. As you see, I waive the rest of my time.
All right, are there any questions? Seeing none, 5 minutes of debate. Seeing none, final privilege.
I was the original creator. Made it better. I waive.
Any motions at this time?
I move to pass SSB 2024-1462 by unanimous consent.
Are there any objections? Seeing none, that motion passes. We're now in line for 1463. That bill has been withdrawn.
I put on a minute, I forgot.
Yes,
Okay.
definitely do, because it's hard to keep track of the withdrawn stuff. The secretaries are always on me. They're like, what happened to this? I'm like, I have no idea. It's on this doc, but not the next one. We're now in line for 1464.
Which one is this one? Oh, is this one on?
This one is substantial, but it for only like one.
Yeah,
two.
this is the only thing that I just changed the accent comptroller. I had the accent comptroller. That's about it.
Did you add chief of staffs?
I just moved them.
Where were they?
They were 16,
Oh.
and I just kind of wanted to make them better. I think we could make this very similar to the way that we did the other one.
Oh wait, did we pass this?
No, this is a different.
I know.
Code section.
I know, but technically, this isn't in the correct format of the new.
Yeah, exactly. Which is why I was like, I might withdraw this one too. And
Yeah,
revise it.
yeah. Okay. Sorry.
Nah, I was like, I'm technically the author of the other one.
You mean technically, you're the full author.
I was a co-author. Like,
All right, we're now in line for SSB
Oh.
2024-1466.
this is a big one.
You have 5 minutes of presentation whenever you are ready.
Just more water for this one. Okay, so as we see, I have made a definition for what the 5 criteria entail. I feel like this is something that has been long overdue. This doesn't necessarily like make y'all do anything. It just gives the definition as to what each entail. In my opinion, this doesn't change anything. It just makes it more clear as to what it is. All of these were taken from Black's Law Dictionary or Harvard Law, so they're very scholarly sources. I did change it obviously a little bit to be and to have it streamlined with UF and Lesser County, such like that. It's something I just feel like could be very beneficial. That we just need to have eventually, because sometimes we're like, when people get their stuff done, they're like, what even is implication? The definition of implication is that it is have consequences that are to be that are inferred to reasonably occur as a result of a piece of legislation. The big word is consequences to reasonably occur. Granted, reasonably occurs up to the discretion of the committee, so I think this doesn't really make anything crazy. It just, I guess, makes it as to what that really is, because it's the most used one. It's obviously the most important one. Format, clarity. It's about intent and meaning of the bill more than anything. Making sure that that's clear, that intent's clear. Legality, obviously we need them to be in line with federal statutes, 4 state statutes, and our surrounding Alachua County stuff, which I found out Gainesville is technically under that, even though Gainesville is its own city too, which I was a little confused about, but hey, you learn something new every day. And constitutionality is pretty self-explanatory. So, but yeah, I'll waive this, and I look forward to questions and debate.
All right, we're now in line for 5 minutes of questions. Are there any questions?
Regarding constitutionality, is the University of Florida Constitution the only one that applies to the 5 criteria?
I mean, we can include the U.S. Constitution too, but that's more so legality in that regard. Constitutionality here, really? Well, I would be more than happy to make that change.
First, yeah.
Learn something new. We can add both. That will be my answer to that. I would like that, actually.
Okay. That's not a question. Are there any more questions? All right, seeing none, we're now in line for 5 minutes of debate, beginning now.
Wait, why would the U.S. Constitution, the state constitution, not be under legality?
They're under constitutionality.
Okay.
The state constitution and the U.S. Constitution. So, for example, any rights that are protected in those, they're not laws.
Oh, right.
So there is no legal implications unless a court determines there to be. That's why it's constitutionality. Especially like what comes up a lot is we've had First Amendment cases quite frequently. When it comes to the U.S. Constitution, it's not a legality question. It's a First Amendment constitutionality issue. Same thing goes with, funnily enough, Second Amendment rights have also been brought up. That I think Hunter knows a funny example where a student org tried to exercise their Second Amendment constitutional rights in a way that was deemed not allowed. There's a variety, but yeah, the U.S. Constitution is absolutely included in this list. Same with the Florida Constitution, not University of Florida, but the state Constitution. My biggest issue here is actually with clarity and format. Clarity, this is not a comprehensive measure of clarity. So partly so there's basically when legislation is submitted, it has to do one thing. If it does more than one thing, then it is not clear. It's not just that the intent and the meaning is clear. It's that the bill does one thing. That would need to be included as well. And for format, I kind of like that it's discretionary because I'm going to be so straightforward. About half of all bills submitted to me would fail immediately. And it's not like they don't follow reasonably proper format. They just don't follow format. We fix it a lot, either here on the floor or I tell the author to submit an amendment. I think outlining format is a bad idea for the sake of legislation getting through. In general, like, I don't know. I'm not sure what having the definitions would do, first of all. Like, these are straight from Black's Law, so they're available. But I think the biggest issue for me is the format one. And I mean, reasonably, like, even this week, there would be probably 10 to 15 bills that would have failed. And I don't know if this dictates that, like, I don't know what the implications of this are. I don't know if this would require us to follow the strict definition, because that's a reasonable interpretation of what our rules and procedures mean. And if we do, then I'm not sure how that would affect these. Say, for example, there's an outlying case where there's a bill that, you know, like, there's also precedent here when it comes to especially implication on this one. Like the implication that is defined here, where for us, redundancy is an implication that we've given it before. Because, you know, we want to pass meaningful legislation. We don't want to do things that do nothing or, you know, have already been written in one form or another. And I'm not sure that would include this. So I don't know if that would break precedent. I don't know if we'd have to follow this specifically. I don't know. So, yeah, that's all I have to say. Is there any more debate on this?
Hit all the main points. My argument was just going to be for format, if anything. Just, you know, how many changes we make and revisions to certain things, like just even like capitalization, punctuation, bolding certain areas. Like, it gives us the leniency to allow for more legislation to pass. So.
Is there any more debate? Seeing none, 2 minutes of final privilege whenever you're ready.
Obviously, I would like to have the new additions to constitutionality. They're very much critical. Those are necessary things. In my opinion, the implication one is just very vague as is. Like, excuse me, I kept it vague because it could be a consequence that's duplicated. That's a consequence. It just is consequential for our statutes as is, because we can't have, I guess, similar enough bills out there in the world. Regarding format, I understand what you're saying, but I feel like it'd be kind of weird to just leave it out.
No,
like,
yeah,
the
you
definition
couldn't
list.
leave it
So, if we can figure out something that's like it has to be past legislation to follow the format, it's fine by me. Because obviously we make a lot of amendments to it. We don't fail it because we make these amendments, and it doesn't say that you necessarily have to fail it based on this criteria. It just says that you evaluate it. When you evaluate it, you make amendments as it goes. Clarity, I'm more than, oh Lord, my Outlook is popping up. Hello there, I can't read anyone. Okay, we're back. Clarity, I understand. I think we could include the word like objective of the bill for that part, because meaning and intent are obviously one thing, but the objective of the bill, if the objective is skewed, it's not clear. That, I guess, violates clarity. And the purpose as to why this was written is mainly just for future bill writers, just so they know like how this committee will evaluate it. Because let's be honest, even though it's accessible in Black's Law, people aren't going to look it up. People aren't going to read it. If they know like with verbatim of what is expected of the committee with their bills and how they'll be evaluated, I think it will be more beneficial. There's honestly just a transparency thing, and regarding understanding what is expected of the committee. If you guys see amendments to, I guess, clear up language or to make language better, I'd be more than willing. I just want transparency at the end of the day to help people write good bills.
That is sound.
All right. Okay. I lay this committee at rest. Keep in mind, still on the record. I think having the definition is a good thing for authors. I don't think it should be binding here. I think we should just say, for the edification of senators, these definitions are provided.
Okay.
Because we want room for interpretation on all of these things.
I agree.
And this way we don't have to amend to say in line with the U.S. Constitution, all that stuff, because these are just the definitions in the book, definitions provided by Black's Law. So if we were to amend this to say, for number 3, the 5 criteria are defined by Black's Law as the following, and then insert a section 4 that says these definitions are for the edification of senators and other authors of legislation. They are not binding to the committee discussions. I think that's fair.
I'm open to that. I
Cool.
Said, the intent of this wasn't to make y'all's job harder. It was to make people understand what's to be evaluated.
Yeah.
Like, realistically,
Okay.
there's so many bills out there in the world that could be made. Who knows what will be made?
Yeah.
And making it too rigid can be a detriment. So, I like it.
Okay. Do I hear a motion to amend SSB 2024-1466 to change the clause that starts with 3 to say the 5 criteria are defined by Black's Law as followed by unanimous consent?
So moved.
Any objections? Seeing none, the motion passes. It's called Black's Law Dictionary, right? That's
Yeah.
like the whole, okay.
There's Harvard's Law, too. I think that's how I use
We
it.
use Black's, so,
Yeah.
yeah.
I was like, honestly,
Ooh.
Harvard doesn't need a shout out.
Why can I not make it? Oops.
So weird.
Okay. I'm just gonna. Oh, that's not.
I know. This wasn't really anything pertinent to the bill, but as you see, the numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4 are red. That was accidental. That's just because Microsoft Word sucks.
Yeah, I know.
I was like, those are not changes, by the way.
Yeah. I can't add a 4 for some reason. I click enter and it goes back.
Me too.
If you can, that would be great.
I have the original document.
Yeah, if you could just email that to me. Do I hear a motion to amend SSB 2024-1466 so that a clause 4 is added that reads, the purpose of these definitions is for the edification of authors of legislation and are not binding in deliberations or decisions of the Judiciary Committee
So
by
moved.
unanimous consent. Are there any objections? Seeing none, the motion passes. I will let you amend that before I. Yeah.
Can you do the exact word one more time for both parts, actually? Because I want to make sure.
The first part is the 5 criteria are defined by Black's Law Dictionary as follows.
Okay, sounds good. 5 criteria are defined as Black's. Defined by Black's Law Dictionary.
Hmm?
Just a clarity.
Yeah, we got change clarity.
Yeah, just add objective.
Just add.
Yeah. Didn't you have like a problem?
Meaning.
These are the definitions exactly. So I think it's fine as long as they're not binding.
Or like, if
Because
you-
if this is what the definition says,
let's
I'm
be
not going to
honest,
misquote
doing
the
Q&A is
dictionary.
gonna be like,
Yep.
You're just going to tell them if that's the case, if the objective's not clear. Clause 4, one more time.
Okay. Clause 4, the purpose of these definitions is for, I think it's is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, is for the edification of authors of legislation and shall not be considered binding for deliberations or decisions by the Judiciary Committee.
So they're binding by the.
For deliberations or decisions by the Judiciary Committee.
And so, I'm gonna make an amendment just about the spaces in between those, if that's okay. There's just like extra spaces in clauses B, C, and D.
It actually isn't. It's just one space.
Yeah, it's like, it just probably looks weird on here.
It looks weird on my end too,
I thought it
but
works
it's
for-
it's one space, so
Okay,
it's fine.
Good.
For deliberations and decisions for the Judiciary Committee,
Yes.
I'll read it to you one more time just so you make sure.
Okay.
It's weird. So, clause 3, the 5 criteria are defined by Black's Law Dictionary as follows, : 4. The purpose of these definitions is for the edification of authors of legislation and shall not be considered binding for deliberations and decisions for the Judiciary Committee. Do we want to call it non-binding or not be considered binding? Whatever y'all think.
Not
Not.
binding.
You want it to be one word? Or multiple words?
Well,
It's like just
Non-binding or not considered binding?
non-binding.
Sure, non-binding, sure.
Okay. What's 1466 correct?
Yes.
Okay.
And then you can
Title
email
it
it to me.
as well, so you don't have to do that later. But
What?
I was retitling it so you don't have to do
Okay.
that later again.
Perfect. Yeah, just email that to me. All right. While that's happening, we're now in line for SSP 2024-1467. Did I renumber that? Yeah, I did. Okay.
How many amendments were there? 3?
Oh wait, actually, sorry. I call this meeting back to order.
So you didn't call that.
Yeah. Do I hear a motion to amend SSP 2024-1466 with amendments that were just stated for the clerk by unanimous consent? Are there any objections? Seeing none, that motion passes.
But we never voted to like pass it.
Yeah, we have. I'm waiting till he sends me the.
I have it done. There should be
Dude,
right now.
Socketh emailed me because apparently he's still on the Senate lister, and he said, "Cool," with a thumbs up emoji. Thanks, Socketh. Okay. Did you send that to my email?
Yeah, I said judiciary email.
Okay. Always takes us a little bit longer to load. But I do have it online now.
Ooh, I've sent you those amendments as well.
Perfect. I'll go back to him. Okay. Let me see if I can just copy it straight over.
Probably can.
That'd be really cool, wouldn't it? I give it about a 50% chance that works. Oh, bang. Okay, it did work. Cool. Okay. Yep, that is all good. Do I hear any motions at this time?
I move to pass SSB 2024-1466 by unanimous consent.
Are there any objections? Seeing none, the motion passes.
Being willing to work and amend that.
Okay. So now we're moving back
Lord.
to, we're now in line for the consideration of SSP 2024-1444.
This is the guide.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
this is section 3, volume 1.
Okay. We're in line for 5 minutes of... Oh, everyone doesn't have the amendment, but I will pull it up. So,
This is 4-4.
what are these titles on the version with edits? What are the...
I put version with edits, and then I put what part of the guide act it was. So it's like 2.5. I can put the...
Is there... This is only some of them then, right?
We only had 3 that were tabled last week.
Was there an amendment to 44?
44 we didn't get to last week, so I don't
Yeah.
know.
Is there an amendment or no?
There is an amendment. That one...
Yeah.
So do you want...
All-
I guess I was
all-
confused on this.
Oh.
I did all the ones that were tabled last week, because you said the ones we hadn't got to, you could just, like, strike them as, like...
Oh, okay, yeah, I can... Yeah, perfect. Sorry, that's my fault. Okay.
I can
Yeah.
make them all the same.
No, that's totally fine. Let me just copy that over. Okay, sorry, I have to just download it. So this is section 3, volume 1.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna copy it. Not even gonna. It's 44. Okay. It should have see if it updated for everyone in like 10 seconds.
What part was amended?
The whole thing, I think. I don't know.
Yeah, I think this one had been, we didn't get through.
This one is significantly shorter than it was initially,
Oh,
so
Yeah, I figured that would be one of the concerns, because we had a concern about how long
Yeah.
someone would do it,
Mhm.
so.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
So I tried to take your guys' feedback and apply it to what we hadn't gotten to before.
I think it updated.
okay.
Might be wrong. Is it still like 3 pages long?
I believe it's 4.
Or 4, yeah.
It's 5 actually, but yes,
Oh.
yeah, with the other stuff.
This is
Yeah, it's just 4 on here.
with references, 4 pages.
With the references, it's 4 pages.
Yeah.
There's no references that go up to 20.
Yeah, it's up to 20.
It's 4 pages. 2, 3, 4. What? It should be 5.
It's 4 on here.
What in the world? I don't know how that's even possible.
Is it because the version you're looking at has, no, you should be the same length.
Okay, how do I get Word to be Sorry, I'm trying to fix my Word.
I think it should be 4 pages, I think that's correct.
Okay, well, how do I get out of dark mode? There we go. Now I can read things. Okay, cool. All right. You have 5 minutes of presentation whenever you are ready.
So yeah, this is section 3, volume 1. We're moving into more things that are, I separated them into section 3 just because some of these things I thought had direct actions that could be taken, and so the therefore clauses in some cases are a little bit more directed, further more broad. This one is obviously a very large topic, so I had started out as like 6 pages, and I cut it down significantly to try to focus on what it's talking about. It is very similar to some of the similar bills we discussed on anti-union and legislation and things like that. So it goes into a lot of this legislation and how it adds up. I tried to lean heavily into, what people have said the actual results of these things are versus speculation.
Hold on.
Um,
I don't know if this thing is valid.
It was at 10:14
I stopped the time. I'll give you this.
All right, I'm going to pause.
Sure.
Do I hear?
It says it takes place in the right term. 2, 3, 4, 5.
Do I hear a motion to recess till call back by the chair?
So,
Any objections? Seeing none, we're